Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Masterclass Fireside Chat. So we are doing these free events to help support you in moving through the great shift, the great awakening. And I'm not sure if there's any being in the universe, maybe aside from God, that knows how long we're going to be in this transition phase. But it does appear that we're in the beginning phases of what could be a lot of chaos that will occur on the planet. So it's very important that you guys stay strong with your body, you stay strong with your presence. Oh, we're getting a channeling mode here. All right, so let me see here. Let's do this first of all. Let's create sacred space here. So in your own way, center yourself. And it's good to have your shoes off if you're inside. Better grounding with your shoes off. And we always recommend that you wear beautiful colors, at least for your shirt, for these calls, like white or pink or some shade of green and maybe cobalt blue, and light a candle. We always light a candle before we start events. That is to recognize the spirit of life. So I call it my spirit of life candle. That's on my altar that we always light before we do anything, sessions, events, programs. And if you guys need to detox from today's masterclass, feel free tonight or tomorrow to take a detoxing bath. Very simple. Baking soda, Himalayan pink salt or sea salt, and borax. Good old borax. Not too much borax though. So all those free ingredients are very cleansing for your body. So 20 minutes hot bath is recommended. Okay. So let's close our eyes for a moment. And in your own way, create sacred space. And you want to ground your body so your body doesn't short circuit from the higher frequencies. So you all know in your own way how to ground and center. Use the power of the breath to center. Bring your focus to your sacred heart space and activate the threefold flames in your sacred heart. You have three creation flames, as it is called. And these represent the three main creation rays, R-A-Y-S. You want to open up all your chakra points. So the sacred space that you create is a space around your body, around your home, on your property, if you have land, the borders of your property. Sacred space simply means that you only allow into that space only love and truth. And the same that goes out of your sacred space is one of love and truth. You can call in the archangels if you wish, celestial beings. You can call in the devas, the nature spirits, dragons, unicorns, fairies, cherubs, seraphim, Elohim. And you want to consciously strengthen your connection to the great central sun, your I am presence, and all the dimensions of New Earth. Okay, you want to invite your inner child to be present, your beautiful inner child. And ask your inner child to feel free to share tonight and to receive very deeply. Call in your guardian angels, You're going to call in your council of light. Those are the beings, generally from the hierarchy, that have been assigned to your soul path. Call in your soul group. And these are beings that, with you, support you in your life's journey, and also as a soul group, and there are many, your soul group has particular intention, a particular focus for this, your incarnation. So it's an individual focus as well as a collective focus regarding your soul group. So call in your soul group and ask them to literally stand behind you, next to your guardian angels. You can put your inner child on your lap. And just bring your attention to your breathing. Breathe in and out, deep and long. Deep and long, very slow in breath and out breath, coming into center. I am here, I am now, I am. I am in sacred space. These calls are always divinely protected. So you are always in a climate of safety and trust, nurturance. You're going to open up your intuition. And activate your pineal pituitary glands. And keeping all your chakras flowing and open so that you can receive from the higher dimensions that which will benefit you the most during this call tonight. Relax the shoulders, relax all the muscles in the face, especially the forehead muscles in your jaw, your TMJ, relaxing toes and feet and calves. And as the body relaxes, it can receive more deeply. Now, bring your awareness to the base of the skull for a moment. Continue to breathe long and deep. And then up to your third eye. And then down into the center of your chest, your thymus gland. And then back to up to the base of the skull. So you're creating a triangulation. A sacred triangulation. And allow your consciousness now to completely disengage from tribal consciousness and the chaos of the world in a collective astral plane. So for a moment, let go of your to-do list. Just let go of busyness in the mind. You can allow the mental body to go into hibernate or go into pause mode. And the same with your emotional body. Thereby bringing a deeper alignment with your soul and your I am presence with your body. Take a deep breath. Okay, we're going to move right now into a deeper level of empowerment. So you're going to intone, and envision. So this would be silently within. that the love of God unfolds you, or you would say the love of God unfolds me. The light of God surrounds me. The power of God protects me. The grace of God blesses me. And the presence of God watches over me. Take a deep breath. Wherever I am, God is. And wherever God is, I am. Another deep breath. It is, we are, I am. God is, God is, God is. And then you're going to feel from deep within your sacred heart space that you are divine creator manifested in a form. So feel that vibration beginning to resonate deep within your sacred heart. I am a divine creator manifested in form. Now you're going to move into the upper room or the quantum or that place you call oneness. And you're going to declare again from deep within your sacred heart space, behold, I make all things anew. Behold, I make the world anew. Behold, I make my body and my mind anew. Behold, I make my business anew. Behold, I make all relationships anew. And behold, I make my inner child anew. Now declare from deep within, I know who I am in love and service. I know what I am in love and service. And I know how I serve the world in love and light. I am free, I am free, I am free. Okay, come back to the awareness of your body in the room. Slowly open your eyes. Hold that inner space, that quantum inner space with eyes open. And make sure you're grounded. You can open up your feet chakras a little more, maybe in your Earth Star chakra, grounding to all the dimensions of new Earth. All right, so we're going to pose a question to the group. How is it you are discerning what is happening on the planet? Not how you are thinking about what is happening on the planet. We know that you're feeling what is happening on the planet. So the question remains, how are you discerning what is true for you in regards to the planetary chaos? Now, there's also another question. Who are you carrying in your body? Are you carrying your parents' energy, your kids' energy, your spouse's energy, friends' energy? Who are you carrying inside your body? Mainly your solar plexus, although it could also be in the base of your skull or the back of your neck. It could be in your lower back, could be in your base chakra. Who are you carrying? Whose pain are you carrying in your body that makes you uncomfortable? So let that question resonate very deep in your body, into the subatomic level. Whose pain are you carrying right now? Whom are you trying to rescue and save? Now, here's another question. This is regarding doubt and fear. So, what are you fearing the most in your life right now regarding your future? Where are you holding doubt in your mental body? Doubt about your future. How am I going to make it through all of this? Especially financially, which is collectively one of the main worries of humanity. We might also ask, where in your body, keep your focus with your body, where in your body have you lost connection? Where are those places in your body that are disconnected or fragmented? And maybe on another level, has your consciousness, has your soul become fragmented and stuck or frozen in time, like back in early childhood or your first marriage or your first year in college, or when you try to start your business? So whatever is relating to you now, just let it flow. We've asked some very deep questions, but these are areas that need to be addressed during this time of great transition. Where are your shadow aspects? Where is your inner child frozen in time? Like maybe in your first trauma that you haven't gotten over, as an example. Could even be birthing trauma. And perhaps part of you not wanting to be here, but you're here. Okay, so we're going to open up the platform. Remember, this is a sacred container for you to share very deeply. Even though you're amongst strangers in a sense, we're all part of some level of soul group. And that's why we're here. Because on some level, you're resonating with the energies of this masterclass. So I, along with you, are always learning when we do these events. We're learning is ongoing into infinity. It's ever evolving. You are, we are forever evolving into finer and finer states of higher consciousness and physical embodiment. That means your body here on Earth. Okay, so I think this will end this part of the transmission. So now we'll shift into Q&A mode. We'll shift into sharing mode. And please feel free to post in the chat. Okay. Give me a moment here as I look over the chat box real quickly. Nobody's posting yet. I guess you're still in the zone, and that's okay. Okay. So whoever would like to share, you can unmute yourself. So part of the idea of these master classes is to support you guys in moving through the transition. Because you don't want to do it alone, because doing it alone is very difficult, as you know. So this is an opportunity to come and meet your tribe, because we are supporting each other energetically. If you look on the inner planes, like on the 5th dimension or thereabouts, you will see all of us gathered in kind of like a temple setting or in a nature scene. Remember, these higher dimensions are different for each one of you. So not everybody's going to experience the same thing, but each of you will get symbolically and actually exactly what you're ready to receive, become, experience, and be. Okay, Sue, are you unmuted? Well, she is unmuted. Did you want to share something? Ask a question?
Oh, I will. I guess I'm accidentally not muted. Sorry, but
That's okay.
I've been noticing that I'm very tired. I get halfway through the day and I'm just feeling exhausted, and so I try to check for any cords or attachments or anything that's kind of weighing me down. And I do sometimes find and ask for help removing those, but I still seem to be quite tired a lot.
Do you have a day job?
No, I'm retired.
No, congratulations.
Oh,
All right.
thank
Part of
you.
this whole transition thing, the symptomology is tiredness. Like I have known since I've last probably 2 years, just guessing, requiring more sleep. So it's important that you get your needed 6, 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep each night, but you want to program your body, your brain, to go into deep REM sleep. So this is like a reprogram that you do for your body.
Okay.
To bring into focus that you're going to have very deep healing REM sleep each and every night, and that your visions, not your dreams necessarily, but your visions are going to go beyond the astral plane. It's going to go into the quantum. And you can go back to source, obviously, and recharge. So these are some of the things that you can do consciously that will help that. But think of it this way. This tiredness and this maybe anxiety that people are feeling, it's kind of normal in a way where we're moving from one world to another. And it's not easy moving from the old world to the new world. It is a little bit like moving from one country to another and learning their language, their customs, their history, all of that stuff, right? It's like a newness. The body, the ego, the body will have a tendency to want to hang on and not move forward, if you know what I mean. So part of that resistance can result in feeling tired. Does that make sense so far, Sue?
Yes, it does. Yeah, I had not thought about resistance being part of it.
Yes, because our conscious mind doesn't like change necessarily. You know what I mean? Like change into the unknown, like new earth. Well, what the heck is that? What's that going to look like? What's that going to feel like? Well, we kind of know what it's going to feel like. We just kind of don't know what it's going to look like, in a sense, in a more form level. So maybe work with your resistance, with your inner child, and just make everything okay in moving forward into the unknown, even in your retirement phase, to see, what we're being called to do is to envision collectively how we want to live in the new earth. And if we don't do that every day, individually, it's not going to manifest very quickly on the more physical plane. So the more people that do this, because we all have an idea of what heaven on earth looks like and what it feels like. That's the new earth. But it's not necessarily the biblical Christian or Catholic kind of idea of heaven, or even the Muslim idea of heaven. But it's that place where we connect, we communicate, we do our best to understand one another's differences, we cooperate, we don't fight, we don't create wars or division. So you know all this stuff. So what would it be like for you to live in paradise? Because we each, if we do this, I am divine creator manifesting form, that gives you the freedom to create your paradise on earth. What does that feel like? More precisely than what it looks like. So if you can feel it, it can manifest. Is that making sense, Sue?
Yeah, that does.
What you can also do tonight for tomorrow is to feel what it's like to be non-tired, or to be energetic, in other words.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's another thing that people overlook, but we got to cover all bases when we're moving into the new earth. So many people, most people cannot live in a brand new home. So they buy a house or they rent a place that has other people's energy in there from the very beginning of when it was constructed and built. You've got all that energy from the buyers, the owners, the sellers, the agents. You got all that energy that if it's not cleared out by those people, is going to linger in the atmosphere of where you're living. That will make you tired. That must be a big
Yeah.
Right?
That is because I sold a home that I'd lived in for over 40 years a year ago, and I've been in a couple of different apartments since then. So that is a big change as far as the energy, from my old home and in these places that have been living.
Yeah. So when you want to take all your energy out of the old home that you're in for all those decades and bring it up to where you live now, make sure you're not lingering back in that old home on some level. And bring in the violet light as an example to clear your apartment space from the very beginning of time. And you do this every day, every night, every morning. When you take a shower or a bath, you want to do the same thing energetically to your home, your environment, to your workspace. So it's not something you do once a month. You do it every day until your space feels pristine. You know what I mean by pristine? Very clear, no distractions, no distortions, no funny energies, no funny smells, any of that stuff. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, make sure you mute yourself now.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Oops, where am I? Okay, who else like to share? We're going to call on you shy people if you don't share voluntarily. We'll call on you. We'll pick on you. Kiri?
Yes. So what do you want to share? So many, but I guess I have to pick. So the questions that you took us through during that I don't know if it was a meditation attunement. I guess interesting enough is there were the questions I've been asking myself. And as we're going, where I began to feel a lot of energy was about where did I leave my energy, right? Where's my energy stuck? So there was a lot of movement even in my body, like shaking back and forth and back and forth. Nice. And so it was interesting because I guess there's another question is, I do so much clearing and then you wonder, like, does it ever end?
Does it ever end? Come on.
You know what I mean? Like, because I was kind of
I mean Zoom. You almost like kind of.
Okay, Ruth Jean, you got to mute yourself, so I'm going to mute you.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Carrie. Whoops, wait a minute.
Sorry.
There, I asked you to mute. Okay, Carrie, continue.
Yeah.
Where did you feel that movement or that shaking in your body?
No, my body was just swaying back and forth and
Okay.
back and forth. Yeah. I mean, it was already doing it while we're doing the attunement, as we're
Mhm.
doing it, you know, when we're centering and setting the space and all of that. But as the question got to that, then it was just like, you know, it picked up, I guess, intensity a bit. So I just thought it was interesting because I thought I've done enough work around, you know, that soul retrieval aspect from all those frozen.
Yeah.
Frozen is sort of my thing.
Mhm.
So it's just interesting. And I was just wondering, okay, what is still frozen?
Yeah, a question about when people are frozen in time and space.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll give you an example. Most of you on this call probably know what I'm talking about because it's pretty common, globally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Most women on the planet have had sexual trauma or birthing trauma or early childhood trauma. So at that young age,
Mm-hmm.
your mind doesn't have the ability to comprehend that experience. So it kind of gets stuck. The body kind of gets stuck in the trauma, even years later, unless you go back and consciously work that experience. So what it basically means is that part of you that we could call your inner child is frozen in time and space. So if you go back on your timeline, which you guys can do right now if you want, you can go back and see where any of the bumps are on your timeline regarding trauma. So when you feel or see those bumps, that's a part of you that's frozen there because it doesn't understand the experience and doesn't know how to let go or clear it or heal it or come to completion with it and with the other people involved. That's quite common.
Mm-hmm.
That's why if you guys watch TV, or not so much in movies, but I've seen this because I want to keep the pulse on 3D reality and to know where the planet, where it's stuck and where it's trying to move to and all that. But I have noticed with women in particular, now these are women that are in their 30s, late 20s. They talk like a little girl. They talk like a little teenager. Their voice, you can tell in their, well, at least I can. You can tell in their voice kind of like what age they're speaking from. So that tells me that they've had trauma back, maybe when they were a teenager or an adolescent or 7 years old, and they haven't recovered from it. See, your voice reflects the different parts of you, right? So why don't you pay attention? This could be like a homework assignment to other people's voice. And does their voice match their age? Or are they speaking from 20 years ago? Or are they speaking from nervousness rather than peace and calm? See, we are naturally clairaudient. We're naturally telepathic. So if one is not acknowledging that they are psychic, they're clairvoyant, they're telepathic, they're clairaudient, they're clairsentient, and all that, it just means that they shut down those channels. But we all have those abilities. Those are natural, especially from the star system that you came from, if you know what I mean. It's not accepted on Earth. We have to deal with that resistance, right?
Right.
And it's okay to be labeled crazy and cuckoo and woo-woo. Actually, that could be a compliment, right? So don't take it personally when people go, "Ah, you're nuts for thinking that," or "You're crazy for believing that," or like whatever. Just say, "Hey, thank you for sharing." All right. Don't take it personal. That's another thing about this, what's going on in the world globally, right? Is you cannot take things personally. If you get insulted or you get pushed back or shadow banned or canceled or whatever you want to call it, you don't take it personal. It's a collective reflex reaction. It really has nothing to do with you. It's coming from, well, people that are asleep. You know what I mean by that?
Mhm.
Okay. I hope that brings some clarity. Does it?
Yeah, I guess a lot of things are popping up, and I do love what you suggest in terms of like doing the sort of a timeline walk, so
Mhm.
to speak, and then seeing where the energies are stuck. So I'll do that, and I'll journal. I tend to get a lot of insights when I'm journaling,
Mhm.
and things get really clear, and I get answers. But that was very helpful, and I think one thing also I'm aware of is being tuned in a lot into the collective. And a lot of times I do feel like whatever is happening in there, whether there's a fear, whether, the stress, because sometimes I'll be like, that stuff doesn't even feel like it's my stuff. And then just maybe sometimes the recognition of all of that, then it will just sort of dissipate. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks.
So that's another thing. You empaths, y'all are empathic star seeds.
Mhm.
The old healer's way, the old shaman's way is to take on other people's thoughts, feelings, emotions, pain, suffering, issues in an attempt to help them.
Mhm.
No, you can't do that in the new earth.
Yeah.
So when you're empathic in the new earth, it means that you don't have to take on another person's suffering to know what they're suffering or how they're suffering in order to help them. What you do is you move to that place of knowingness, your crown chakra. So you can know things rather than feel it, because feeling it is the old matrix. It's the old earth. You want to move into this knowingness place, this crown chakra place, these higher chakra dimensional places where you just know things and you don't have to feel it in your body, and your body doesn't have to take it on. Doesn't have to take it on. Your body doesn't have to take it on. Underlined, emphasized, underscored, bolded,
Yeah.
emphasized.
Yeah. That's very helpful. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
you can mute yourself. Okay. Who else has a question or would like to share? Drink some water, you guys. Insights as to what's happening on the planet. Anything of value to the group.
Hi, Kenji, it's Loretta.
Whoops, there's Loretta. She's in the shadows. She's in the
I just wanted to say, when you were in the beginning, I'm trying to get my camera on, it's acting up.
you can turn on your video if you're attempting to be video.
When you were talking in about tab one,
You're breaking up a bit.
Kenji,
Hold on, Ruchi.
I know my computer, I don't know why it's doing this, but it's been doing this a lot.
Well, you're okay on that last
Huh?
sentence. You're okay with that last sentence.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you're slightly breaking up, but go ahead and
Okay.
ask your question or share.
When you were talking about changing the color, okay, I had on black.
Oh, okay. Yeah, your connection is really bad, Loretta. Maybe you can go to your phone. Maybe you can go to your phone. Maybe you can log out and log back in on your phone. Yeah, your internet connection is really bad. So I'm going to mute you.
Okay.
Yeah. Log out and log back in on your phone if you can. Okay, Ruchi.
Good afternoon, Kenji and everyone. My question is that most of the time, like about 2-3 years now, I feel like my brain is just blank. Like I don't have any plans anymore in the future, but I deal in moment to moment, and I don't know if that is kind of normal. in my part now, or do I have to deal with my inner child of my higher self, which I don't explore yet to the point, to this point of my search or self-help.
Well, let me
And
ask you this. Let me ask you this. Are you having trouble functionally speaking, being on the earth plane, or is that good?
I'm good, but like I have to when I make a sentence, I cannot finish it at one flowing sentence. I always like kind of pause and then cut my sentence in the middle and then proceed. And so I was like kind of having a self-examination. Is my brain going to being an Alzheimer? Do I have an early Alzheimer symptoms, or is this a part of my new earth trying to bridge my old to my new? And I know I go back and forth to 3D, and sometimes I'm very intuitive, and which I don't think so. It's unique. But the point is, I'm always like kind of blank. And I don't know if it's good for a start or I'm cuckoo per se. That
Let me ask you
I don't
this.
have any plan.
How are you with writing sentences or typing out sentences on your computer?
I'm good at it. I'm really good at it. But the verbal part is I have to stop. Like my brain would just stop. And then my daughter will, like, I have a spatial daughter. She will finish the sentence for me. And my husband would say, "Boy, you are really two peas in one pot. You know what mommy wants to say." And it doesn't bother me because I know exactly what I want. The only thing is the verbalization is
Mhm.
different from my writing skill.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm retired. I have so much time in my hands. I have, everything is optional. So I don't really plan because it's optional. Unlike when I was working, that I have list to do. I don't have list to do
Yes.
unless I have an appointment.
Yes. Well, we have a suggestion. I can probably answer that indirectly. I don't feel it's an issue, but try this, and you can do this now. And anybody that's feels like they have like a brain imbalance, what you want to do is you want to connect the hemispheres of your brain more together through the sideways figure 8 golden flow. So just close your eyes for a moment, Routine, and imagine there is this horizontal infinity golden sign that's connecting both hemispheres together right at the corpus callosum, which is at very top of the head. It's that space that closes last when you're born as a little baby, right at the top there. So imagine that there's this energy going back and forth between the hemispheres of your brain and re-coordinating your brain function in relationship to your higher self. So you're also going to see now your higher self as a light that is infusing both hemispheres of your brain coming from above your head, infusing your brain, and then going slowly down your vertical channel down past your root chakra down into the earth. So you can try that for about 14 days. Every day for about 14 days. Try that.
Thank you. In fact, before I speak out, I already feel a lot in here.
Yeah.
When I was trying to prepare myself to talk to you in the community. And that is exactly what I'm feeling. And like, I just need a confirmation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, when you're preparing to channel, these kind of things can come up. Just know that you're very lucky versus people that cannot shut off their monkey mind and cannot go to sleep at night. So maybe you want to start maybe a little meditation group and start teaching people how to meditate, maybe using that particular brain exercise as an example. But just know that there are many, many women that cannot shut off their mental body. They cannot shut it off on command. They cannot shut it off to go to sleep. They have insomnia, restless leg syndrome, etc. Right? So that's just an idea for you. So you can begin to use your skills and your talents.
Any of your MP3 that would help me really ground it in me?
Well, there's one that I did a long time ago. It's one of my favorites. I think I did this when I was living in Seattle back 2012 or 13. It's called Higher Self Download. So you can go onto my products page and type in the search bar there, Higher Self Download.
Okay.
Seattle, 2013 or 2012.
2013. I like that. 13 is my favorite number.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
you know,
now
13, if we're speaking about different levels or dimensions, if we're talking about 12 dimensions that we're working with, the 13th is the integration dimension. It's an integrator of the 12.
thank you so much. I will
Okay,
do
you're
that.
welcome. Thank you. Okay,
Love you.
thank you. You can mute yourself. Good questions. Who else has a question or a concern or a sharing or an insight? Carolyn, you're unmuted, but I can't hear you. Speak up or say something. No, your audio's not turned on. Go find your audio button. Is your audio turned on in your camera settings?
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, what did you do?
I went to microphone and connected it to my computer.
Ah, gee, that would help. Okay. Oh, you're muted, so you've got to unmute yourself.
Okay, it kind of goes with all this kind of goes with my question that I struggle with technology
Mhm.
and how to kind of survive. I kind of wish technology would stop 10 years
Yeah.
ago.
Yes.
And I just I guess that my main question is how do you stay true to yourself whilst being in this world that's constantly changing and moving so fast?
Okay, here's a couple of things. These are some insights that I see humanity doing, especially the younger generation, like Generation Z. So those are the kids that are like in their 20s. But it also applies to adults as well. Now I have to be careful because I do a lot of stuff, through Zoom, but I have to kind of do it as kind of like a necessary evil, I guess. I'm trying to come a point where I can just do everything live, like out of Sedona as an example, but until I get to that place. So what I've seen is that people are giving away their power to technology. Now, if you think of all the electronic devices that are available for anyone to buy from Apple, from Google, you name it, right? Give me an example. Video games. I'm sure most of you do not do video games, but the younger generation, they're kind of addicted to that, right? They're going into a artificial reality that is becoming very real to them. Now, that to me means that they, on some level, really gave away their power of discernment, their self-empowerment. They're giving over their energy to this technology. Cell phones, same thing. If people are addicted, they can't stay off their cell phones, texting, doing social media, all of that. You're giving away your power. You're giving away your ability to intuit, to be clairvoyant, to be clairsentient, all that. So think of it as this. When you see people giving away their power to any kind of device, this could be healing devices as well, giving away your power. You think, you know, this program that I bought, that I connected with my cell phone, that I do every day with these wristbands or these headphones, they're going to help heal my body. Well, at what point did you give away your power to that technology rather than knowing that you can create that through consciousness for your body? So there's different distractions that are alluring us into addictions of any and all kinds. And we have to be very vigilant that we're not giving away our sense of who we are, our sense of freedom, our sense that we can empower our brains, our bodies, our thoughts, and our feelings. Is that making sense so far, Carolyn?
Yeah.
Trouble with technology, if you're having trouble learning technology, I would get a hold of a teenager. Any teenager that knows about computers and stuff, and have them show you how to do technology, because they know how to do it very well.
I don't want to have to do it. And in this world, even in a job and everything, it's all kind of having to, and it's just.
Yeah. Well, like when in Rome, do as the Romans do, right?
Yeah.
So you got to play the game. You know, you're not the game, but you're playing the game because, well, it's kind of required of you. So just know that that's not me. I'm going to play the game. I'm going to learn this so that it'll get me to my next step, in a sense.
But healthy.
With any kind of technology, cell phone, how to work your cell phone, how to do computers, ask a teenager. Because they know, and they can help you, because it's like a snap for them. See, the reason why Atlantis fell, those of you that know about Atlantis and the war between Lemuria and Atlantis and all that. So one of the reasons Atlantis destroyed itself was because of the misuse of technology, energy, crystals, and their sense of greed, power, and control over others. So that's why they fell. And you're seeing the repeat right now playing out on the global stage. These are all Atlanteans that played that control game. But they're not going to succeed. They had their chance at Atlantis. Now is their opportunity for redemption, shall we say. Now, they may not realize it on an ego level, but on a soul level, that's a little bit different story. But just know that what's going on in the world, what they're trying to do is kind of like a repeat. It's like a repeat. And most of you were in Lemuria as opposed to Atlantis. That's why you're on those calls. And Lemurians, they didn't get fascinated with technology. They were into nature. They were into intuition. They were into the divine feminine. They were into cooperation, communication, helping each other, building tribe and community. Way different than Atlanteans. Way different. So just know, when you don't relate to somebody that's like completely opposite of them, well, they're probably from that era of Atlantis, and like that's all they know. So they do it. But there'll come a time where they're going to want to wake up, and they're going to start asking questions. And that's where we come in. That's where you as starseeds come in. It's still a little bit early to offer. But when you're asked by anybody for help, then that's when you bring forth your gifts and your knowing, your intuition. Don't resist it, all right? But it'll be very obvious. When there's a call for help, you answer it, even if it's a stranger. And you know that old saying is what? Well, I go out and I go shopping, and I always, people just come up to me, these strangers, and they just start pouring out their life to me, right? Well, that's a call for help. So next time someone does that, you respond. And if you're in like a healing practice, then you can offer them, well, this is what I do. I could help people like yourself, give them your business card or whatever, exchange information. So I don't know. There might be a time when all of a sudden the dam breaks, right? And there's going to be all these people asking for help, and they're not going to know where to turn. And that's where we come in as starseeds. Remember, starseeds are those that are on the call, like tonight, that have a purpose, that have a mission. They don't think like everybody else. They feel and see stuff that most people cannot. They probably were branded black sheep of the family, like I was. Odd, strange, different, right? And the main thing you want to, well, the main thing as starseeds you want to remember is you don't want to fit in, because you're not meant to fit into the earth. You're on the earth, you're walking the earth, but you're not of it. You're here to be of service. You know that, right? So just don't, as they say, get caught up in the swamp. Don't sink in the bogs, so to speak. So is that clarity for you, Carolyn?
Yes. Thank you so much. And I'm in Asheville too. So
Oh, cool. Well, let's connect sometime.
yeah, for sure.
I do brewery. I go to drum circles. Well, drum circles only going to be about for another month, but yeah, just contact me through my website.
Will do.
I
Thank
think
you.
there's another person in Asheville also. Anyway, I'm stuck in Asheville for about probably at least another year. That's okay. I'm in a safe place. Okay, who else has a question like to share? Comments? Karen, Dr. Karen. We got two Karens in the first row. We got Tammy. We got Sue. We got a bunch of iPhone users. We got Michael. We got Heather. We got Cynthia. Teresa, who usually likes to share, but is quiet tonight. Svetlana. Hey, Svetlana, I know Alana. Her actual name is Svetlana, but we call her Lana Hankey. She used to live in South Seattle. Anyway, just thought I'd mention that. Okay, who'd like to share? Oh, we got
Aaron on the top row.
okay, wait a minute. We got somebody I got to mute. She's on the bottom row. Sharonjeet, maybe sounds like Indian. Oh, I can't ask her to mute. Okay. So Miss Gill, if you can mute yourself, you're on the phone. Just make sure you're muted. Okay, who's next? Who was that? Karen? Oh, Karen Shepard.
Everything that everybody has spoken about, I can relate to. Resistance is really up. I'm pushing against everything, not interested, don't want to talk about it. So I'm playing in that field. But one of the most interesting things happened on Tuesday when I was working with resistance, and that was against people, places, and things. And when I came home, I was asked about a couple that I know. And I couldn't, for the life of me, remember their names, although I knew I was meeting her for coffee in the afternoon. So I went and did a long distance Reiki treatment, and I couldn't get the Reiki treatment to go. But I ended up just letting go, and it was interesting that it was led by all the archangels. And even the girl I was working with said it was a most amazing treatment, which it was. I crashed for 2 hours afterwards, and that's part of my sleep pattern. If I want to sleep, I sleep and it's most delicious and I don't regret it at all. So when I came to, I apologized to the person because I couldn't remember these people's names. And that person shrugged it off and said, oh, that's all right. Everybody forgets at times. And yes, I have done that, but this time it was different. Like there was no brain power there at all. It was just like I was in a fog type of thing. But that was a day that it felt like I was between worlds, that I had spent so much time on resisting, and I wasn't resisting. So I really felt that I was feeling like no time, no pain, no nothing. I could function after I remembered those people's names and after I had my snooze, but it was the most interesting day, just like I wasn't living in my body. So it had something to do with time. And I'm also realizing with time that I'm interested in so many things, but everything is overlapping. Like tonight, there was 2 points of interest for 8:30 in the night. So anyway, I'm playing with time, whatever that means. Thank you.
Yeah, living in between two worlds. Yeah. So as the solar energies gets more intense, solar flares, etc., on a physical level, not to mention on a metaphysical level, time's going to become unimportant. It might be a little bit challenging if you have a day job, or if you have a schedule like I do, where you got to write everything down in a calendar so you don't forget. But there'll be moments where you'll just be in timelessness. You'll be in no mind. You'll be in the zone, as we say. Now, what you got to remember is, if you have the focus to integrate this timelessness into your body, that's going to be very beneficial for your body, so that you heal the split in a way between no time and time, or the quantum and this physical reality. Because for some of us, not everybody, at least not in the moment, our intention is to embody the quantum as much as we can. So that's being taking this enlightened state and embodying it. So you are that expression in everyday life, in the marketplace. You're not just doing it in meditation or when you're doing a healing session or receiving a healing session, that you're doing it all the time. So that's never been done before collectively on the planet. This is an experiment in a way. We're in this collective beta tests to see how many of us can be the embodiment of. Not to say it's easy, but if you practice every day. So those of you that may not have a daily meditation practice or prayer practice, start one and just be determined, be committed and responsible to do it every day. Because I now cannot go without doing my morning meditation. I have to do it. My body just wants it. It's like, so I don't ever think of not doing my daily practice. I do it. It's like sleeping and showering, right? I do it every day. Now, if you are really good and you do it in the morning, that'll last all the way through the day into your evening time, into when you go to sleep. So you can also program that state to be with you for the whole day into the evening, no matter what's going on in your life, in the world. It's going to be with you. Okay. I hope that helps, Karen.
It does indeed, because I get into a practice and it goes good, and then I kind of slide out of it. But you have mentioned several times this evening about programming, like programming your sleep, programming your day, and I'm aware of that. So now it comes to the practice. So thank you very kindly.
You're welcome. Thank you. And you can mute yourself. So remember, Metaphysics 101, energy follows thoughts. thoughts feed your emotions. Your body responds to the thoughts and the emotions that you generate, not the other way around. It always starts in the quantum. The world doesn't believe that. The world is acting as if the body is the main whatever it is, and you go from the body to other places. That's why medicine is not working, right? They don't go to the quantum to get that information and to embody it in medicine in their bodies. They think the drugs, the vaccines are going to do it. No, you know that's not true, right? And so the only way really to heal stuff going on in your body is you got to go to consciousness first. And you've got to tap into what is causing the distress in your body. Go into the emotions that are attached to in your body and to the belief system or the thoughts that produce the emotions that are manifesting in your body. And then you'll be better off that way, right? Daily practice. So it's like a star athlete. They all have to practice. They may be born gifted in the sense of natural ability for basketball or ballet or whatever it is, singing, but they got to practice their craft in order to be perfect in a sense, right? Same thing with your quantumness. You have to practice that. Now, when you do that, you're going against the grain of the world. You're going to meet resistance. And maybe you're going to meet resistance in your ego part of your body, right? I don't want to do that. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll postpone it. The way you can tell if you're in resistance is, well, I'm going to postpone it till tomorrow, or I'll do it later, or I'll just forget about it for now. When you know you've got to do it today, right? So that's one level of resistance. The other level of resistance is, well, I don't want to go into the unknown because it's spooky. Because as a little girl, I was taught that unknown was spooky stuff. You don't want to go there. So we were conditioned early on with all these weird beliefs from our parents and from the church. Really strange beliefs, if you really come to think about it, that make no sense. So whatever you thought as a little kid, like as a 4 or 5, 6-year-old, that you heard from adults, and you go, that doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. Well, you were right. It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense because it's backwards thinking. It's like the Course in Miracles says in the very beginning, right? This world has upside down thinking. So just know, when you start to ascend in consciousness, you're going against the grain of all that collective resistance that's saying, no, don't go, stay here. It's safe here. Even though I'm suffering, it's safe. So stay here because you've gone to the unknown. Oh man, we don't know what's out there. The boogeyman can get you, right? Silly humans. Who else like to share? Dr. Karen always has something to share, but we can ask her to unmute and keep her sharings to 4 minutes or less. That would be a test for Dr. Karen.
All right. How about observations that I'm seeing?
Yeah.
I've personally gone through a lot of ups and downs, and I do apologize. I have to get to emails, but it has been a crazy couple of weeks. For some reason, I end up looking at things overall and seeing, I guess it's just what I'm feeling out of the collective. I tend to just have radar on that. And I see a lot of people running around. It's like two camps, almost like the great divide is happening right now, where there are people that are just stuck in their ways. They're never going to change. It's going to be the way it's going to be. And it's just my way or the highway. And it's becoming a struggle for them. And then the other camp is like, let loose, not worrying about a thing. And it seems to be going a lot easier. So I've experienced both sides of this because I have both of these things going on in me. Like, I want to be that way. Leave me alone, you know? And then it's like, why can't this be easier? And then if I allow it, it starts going easier. So as I observe my own situations and then listen to the people around me, I'm also feeling like we are collectively being guided, almost like handheld right now, it seems, in a beautiful way. Like, I feel this beautiful, warm energy, almost like a grid that's connecting around the planet, intentionally trying. I call it the angels. I say the angels are coming in and joining up and really putting heavy, not weighted heavy, but putting an intense effort into giving people choice again, almost like a true rebirth. Like, you're actually birthing through the womb again, and you have the innocence of a child again. So there's people that are forgetful. Like, I can't remember anything anymore. But I think it's intentional. I think one of the things that's shifting in me right now, and it's really just in the past few days, strangely enough, it's seeing that if I do go with this flow and stop trying to control everything that's happening in my life, it is going easier, and things are just coming, and messages are coming in, and the pain's going away. It's really wild. And I've had 3 years of a pain syndrome from a car accident, for those that don't know, and a work injury. So right now, I don't feel any pain right now. Talked to me 2 days ago, I was in severe pain, half crippled. So it's weird what's shifting. And how do I sum all this up? What I think is, just as an observation, I think that we're all really, truly just being given a brand new choice and a brand new set of possibilities. And I think it's on an individual level. It's a collective thing, but it's also, you get to choose right now what it is. What do you want your life to look like? What is it? You don't have to figure it out. If anything, you have to just allow it, not try to force it. And in that allowance, it will come to you. It's really learning how to trust again. You know, I think trust has been so distorted for a long time. It's hard to figure out what to trust. So we try to over intellectualize and try to figure it out, as it were. And I'm really guilty of that. So I'm watching a true surrender happening right now with a lot of people, and things are happening like it's a good thing. But I also feel that resistance too, like technology, everybody's, you know, AI is in our face. You know, we're watching, we actually saw the launches for the, what's his name? Elon Musk. He's trying to create the planetary grid so that we can all have internet in the Sahara Desert, you know? And, you know, that electronic effect will have consequences, you know, especially with us giving away our rights. You know, every time you pick up your phone, you're tracked. The tracking is the problem. Technology really isn't. And you can stay grounded away from technology. You can use technology and then just go take that energy off, you know, you can use magnets, you can use grounding, you can just recenter. I think what technology will end up doing is getting us to refocus away from it, because it's so in our face that it'll go in reverse, where we're all seeking, because it'll overwhelm our system. So then we'll start seeking nature more, because it'll feel better. It'll just feel better. So I think, you know, I almost feel like the truck's backing up to the house, and you're getting to put on that truck anything you want to get rid of, including our attitudes and beliefs. And we're getting that choice right now. So it's easy not to, it's easy to pay attention to what's in the truck and thinking about everybody else and what they're putting in their truck. And I think it's important that we forget about that stuff and focus on ourselves. You know, the groundwork is here, and we're getting the individual choice to make anything that we want. It's almost like we're being given the genie bottle and the cork's off, and our genie's there going, well, what is it you really want? You know, and that doesn't mean like you have to pick like, oh, I want this profession or whatever, or I want $10 million. It's really more about, you know, what is it you'd like to share with the world that, you know, makes you special? What you're bringing forth your gifts here. And your gifts could be as simple as you make the best darn apple pie ever, and you get to talk to a lot of people at whatever group you go to or just out in public, you know, to, you know, you invent, you know, something really cool for everybody to share. I don't know. I can't think of a good example, but that's what's been happening over the past couple of days have been really, really intense. We've had the solar flares that have, you know, that we get affected by. The auroras and everything are up. And if you look up how auroras happen, you know, it's really the solar flares coming in and hitting our Earth's atmosphere, for those that don't know. And it just bounces. It shows that we have a field protecting us. For how long, I don't know. It's not going to happen in our lifetime, but you know, this planet will eventually collapse in on itself.
Thank you for that, dear.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
Thank you for sharing. Wonderful. I'm glad you're pain-free tonight.
Yeah.
I'll go to the chat real quick here and just quickly respond. For Anastasia, why don't you do this? This is regarding your post. Practice not carrying the energy of your family in your body or in your mind for a few days. And remember, each of us have our own level of responsibility as far as our evolution goes, and you cannot evolve somebody else. So in a way, it's an individual thing, and we each have to come to that understanding that we're each on our silent path in a way, but yet we're still connected with everybody else that are on their path. So that's the suggestion from the guides, that you not carry your family for a few days and see how that feels. Okay. Now, remember, not knowing in your future is a good thing, because it's going to teach you how to trust and have faith. Anastasia again, how can we create world peace with the people stuck in their historical conflicts? So here's how I see it. We have to leave the old earth behind, and anybody that's committed to staying on the old earth will stay on the old earth. It is not our job to save anybody that does not want to be saved, especially those that do not want to be saved. So think of it this way. If you're a starseed, then you're here to help create the new earth, to leave the old matrix behind, the old matrix. So again, watch the first Matrix movie from what, 22 years ago, or whatever it was. And then the last one that came out, what, 2 years ago. Again, when the soul is ready to know and feel and be peace, then they will. So it's that old saying, you can lead a thirsty horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink the water. Okay. Knowing is your highest level of healing. That will supersede all techniques, all technology devices, all metaphysical exercises, activations even, right? Your knowingness, that is your highest level of Christ consciousness in a sense. Okay, let's see. Scrolling down the chat here. Oh, Zoya, who left the call, she said we met 10 years ago in the Sheila Gale, the Shift event that I took part of. Wow. So I do have her memory, folks. And by the way, Sheila Gale in Stone, she's doing fairly well. She's still a recluse, though. I'm trying to get her on more shows and stuff. Because she really likes doing that. She just has resistance. Just has resistance. Just leave me alone. But Sheila, you got to create financial flow. Get yourself out there. Okay. Sorry about your dad, Stacy. That must have been a kind of a traumatic event for you to experience that. Wow. So again, folks, when you tune into the threefold flame in your heart, the creation rays, go by how that leads you into taking your next step, making your next decision and choice. Don't do it mentally because you go crazy. Like I thought I was going to be in Sedona by now. I thought I was actually going to move like in June of this year. This was back in even last year, early part of this year. So I was kind of getting ready, but then again, I went to the U-Haul website and ordered all these boxes. I didn't pay for them, but I put all these boxes, like $800 worth of boxes. I got a lot of stuff into the cart. But then, I was not guided to purchase it. I was not guided to start packing up because I thought I had to be out of the house by the end of May because that's what the landlord said. But I wasn't doing it. I didn't feel the urge to like prepare to start packing and get everything in order. But I did make plans for my friends to help me move my stuff and drive my stuff there, my car and all my belongings. So I did that part. Then I come to find out the landlord said, I'm thinking about buying a house and you can stay here at the house for another 2 years, but I got to raise your rent. And I didn't really even think about it much more than about 10, 15 minutes on her email. And I said, okay, I'll pay the higher rent so I can stay here for up to 2 more years. See, so I wasn't supposed to move by this summer because the timing wasn't right. And the housing market wasn't right and all of that. See, so I paid attention. I didn't try to force my move. I mean, I could have got something in Cottonwood, some way overpriced house in Cottonwood. I could have done that, but I didn't because it just didn't feel right. See, so got to pay attention, but not to your mind, not to your thinking mind. Okay. Anybody else would like to share, please, or ask a question? Go ahead, unmute yourself. I think I'm done checking the chat box. We can go about another 25 minutes if you wish. Anybody like to share, ask a question? Now is the time. Unmute yourself.
Hi, Kenji.
Penny, Penny from the Blue Mountains in Australia. Yes, Penny.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I think these gatherings are really good because we all, I find that what people have said have really sparked me. You know what I mean? That we're a community in virtual reality.
Yes.
All I was going to say was you in your spring, you did an activation called Seeds of Light.
Okay.
Right. Well, I didn't feel to do it then because winter was coming on and I was having things done and blah blah blah. Anyway,
Yeah.
I felt to do it. I've been feeling to do it the last few days because it's our spring now.
Ah.
Right.
Very good, Penny. Very good.
And the thing is, like, it was just absolutely fantastic yesterday. It was really fantastic. And I've got this blood pressure and they're telling me, it's probably my heart and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm on a monitor. I've been on a monitor all night tonight. And but I just got this thing of when we in the activation, when you were doing the downloads,
Mm-hmm.
I got the feeling like I jumped from that timeline where I was going to have a heart attack and die early.
Ah,
I jumped into another timeline.
nice.
And all these sort of, as you say, as Karen was saying, just surrendering, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just surrendering. You can't do it with your mind.
Yeah.
Surrendering to those codes that were coming down.
Mm-hmm.
I've got no idea where it's going to lead me.
Yeah.
But surrendering to it and just allowing it to just pour in. I've got no idea where it's going to take me, but it was just really, really important. So that's all I really wanted to say.
That's really nice. So you guys got the idea? If you're on an illness disease timeline, you can jump onto another timeline.
Yeah.
It's as easy as how Penny said it is. Just surrender and just jump on over.
Yeah,
Yes, you don't have to be on the timeline that you created back then.
Yeah.
You can recreate new timelines, but Penny, what you want to do is you want to make sure you collapse and close that old timeline that you jumped off of.
Yeah.
That's all. So it's like non-existent now.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm a little bit wobbly about it.
Wobbly?
Because I'm wobbly. You have that?
Yeah.
I'm wobbling a bit.
Okay.
Because I'm still on blood pressure medication.
Okay.
And they're telling me that I need more medication and I need pills for this and pills for that. And, I'm kind of, I'm almost into that other timeline, but not quite.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So.
Okay, just wean yourself off the old timeline, but make sure that you close and collapse it when you're completely done with getting sick and dying of a heart attack.
Hey, it's just okay. I don't mind. I don't have kids. I don't mind, but I don't think that's what my higher self actually wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think they want me to do a lot more.
Yeah.
A lot more help in the time coming.
Yes. And that's what you're going to realize, that you can do more beautiful work here in your retirement. Yes.
That's love. Thanks, Kenji.
Yeah. Thanks, Penny. That's really great. So you guys, just a little bit about timelines, and maybe we'll take one more sharing or question, then we'll get into the activation. So when you feel like you're done with an old pattern, an old emotional pattern having to do with your first ex or your parents or your kids. Oh, and by the way, parents that have adult kids, it is not your job to carry their pain in your body or your mind. Although you were taught that. If you remember, that was the consensus teachings for mothers and women back then. Take care of everybody else but yourself, right? You sacrifice yourself for your whole family, your husband and your kids, but not you. Okay, so these are all thought forms, ancient thought forms. So when you're ready to be complete with all that, you collapse the timeline in a sense. Timeline is just an energy space. It's like the little nodule on your timeline, the little bumpy nodule on your timeline, right? The part where you were frozen in time. Now, there's a kind of a funny analogy you can use to unfreeze yourself from frozen timeline aspects, and that's to take a blowtorch or a flamethrower and shoot it on the frozen part in your timeline. In a funny way, of course, right? In a creative, funny way, you can do that. Because remember, on that other level, it's whatever works, really. Okay. We'll take one more question or sharing, and then we'll get into a concluding meditation. So speak up now or forever hold your peace and sharings until next class.
I'm
Nope.
calling out Teresa.
Where's Teresa? Dr. Karen just called Teresa out. Okay.
Well, hello, Karen.
I feel like you have something good.
No, actually, I'm just soaking it all in. I've been in surrender for months now. And yeah, the only thing maybe I have to share is like Kenji, I meditate every morning. And I really look forward to my mornings. They're just fantastic. You know, I drink maybe a pint of water or another pint of coffee. And just it's great. So, and every morning I ask my team, okay, well, what do you think? What do you think? What should I do? I want to do something creative. And the answer has been the same for at least 30 days. And here it is. Hang tight, keep seeing patients in the office and hang tight. That's all you got to do. So I'm doing it.
That means keeping your boundaries together. Yeah.
And it's been fine.
Yeah.
Something else though, I'm getting feedback in really wonderful ways. For instance, from people who see me as often as new patients, will ask who's referred you, and there are people who have referred them to me who I don't know. People in the community say, "You got to see her. She's smart. She's good. She'll figure it out." Okay, well that's wow. They know I'm just sitting here doing my little thing, and people have figured it out. So
yeah, that's how we say the universe will send you the people you need.
That's right. That's right. So, and I thought of one thing you said recently, I wasn't able to attend the last set masterclass live, but I think you said it during that class, that something like, well, just, shine your light and welcome the people who see it. Just shine it. And, so that's what I've been doing, I think. And people are responding in interesting ways.
Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful.
Yeah. So in a way, though, I do feel like I don't, how do I say it? I want to do so much more, but the working orders I get is, no, just hang tight and do what you're doing. You're doing a good job. So I keep doing it.
Yeah, just send more money by PayPal. Thank you very much.
What? Hey, that's right. That's right.
Yes.
I'm going to drink more coffee.
Good. That helps. No, I won't go on record.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I want to respond to this one post about being paid. Okay. Ruth Jean. It's okay to be paid. It's okay to receive money. You got to look at money as a tool and as a companion not as something dirty or something you don't want to deal with, because that's old matrix concept money. A lot of weird concepts that our parents and their parents grew up with in the church and all that, right? No, not relevant for you starseeds. It is good to be paid. It shows that you are being valued by the universe. So when you value your value, you'll be paid appropriately, in a sense. And a little side note. So those of you that are kind of like not knowing how much to charge for doing whatever, an event, a gathering, whatever, you just go into your heart space and just pick some numbers that you feel that you might like to charge. Like, do several of them. One will stand out more than the others, and that's the one that's closest to your value, financially speaking. Okay. So to give you an idea, I had a cost, a monthly cost in mind for doing the new membership program. And then what got downloaded into my awareness was to lower the price so that more people could attend, given that we are in an apparent, I say apparent, inflationary cycle. But that shouldn't affect you. You shouldn't let that affect you. But anyway, so I came with the brilliant idea is to have two payment options that represent the lower price and the higher price for the membership program. See, so you can do stuff like that. In other words, though, whatever you give, it has to be an equal exchange energetically. So if it's not money, it could be a dinner out or a breakfast out or somebody making you a sweater. I mean, there's got to be an exchange, or else it's not going to work out for the person receiving the freebie. You all know about that. I've kind of learned the hard way. I've given so much stuff out over the years, especially the early days, because I thought, well, that's the only way I can get fans and build my email list or do this or that and the other, right? Give it free or very low cost. But all the ones that I've given freebies to, never hear from them, no appreciation, no nothing. The ones that will appreciate you are the ones that pay you the most money. But you kind of know that already. All right. So let's go into the activation. I'm going to close the chat. I'm going to save the chat. Okay. Save the chat. Okay. And then I'm going to close the chat box. Put myself on. Yeah, we're going to be exactly 2 hours when we finish. That'll be good. Okay. So all you guys get comfortable. Take off your glasses if you're wearing glasses. Make sure your shoes are off. Okay, so energetically, we're going to gather up all the wisdom that was shared from this call today, from all those that shared verbally, but also all those that shared telepathically in the silent mode. We're going to gather up all that wisdom and embellish it. Okay, we're going to bring our awareness back to breathing long and deep. Breathe long, breathe deep, and breathe slowly in and out. When you breathe in, you're going to take the pure life force Christed energies from the quantum, from the upper room, up into the pineal and pituitary on the in-breath, all the way up from the nostrils, all the way up into the forehead. And then when you slowly exhale long and deep, you're going to let out the old. You're going to let go of the old, all the old stuff, the unconscious old stuff, whatever it is, old energies, old emotions, all old thought forms and beliefs, other people's energies. Now, at the same time, as you're breathing in through the nostrils up into your pineal pituitary glands and exhaling out the mouth, out the hand chakras, out the feet chakras. When you breathe in again, you're going to take the energies from the new earth up through the feet chakras, all the way up to the root chakra, then all the way up the spine, into the crown. And when you exhale again, just let go of the old, let go of the past. Imagine an hourglass that's filled with sand, and you're going to turn it to where all the sand's at the top. And the sand is slowly going to drip down through the little opening at the bottom into the other part of the hourglass. That sand at the top that's emptying out into the bottom part of the hourglass is all your old stuff coming out from the unconscious and being dripped down into the new earth. And do it again if you need to empty out some more, go ahead and tip the hourglass up, back up again. So all the sand is at the top. And you may want to just notice through your knowingness what is being emptied out, what is being cleared out of your unconscious. Use your knowingness. Now, let that continue in the quantum until complete. So let it go now. Take a deep breath, and we're going to shift. We're going to shift gears a bit. We're still in the quantum. We're in the upper room. You're going to begin to take your physical body into the upper room, into the vibrations of the upper room for healing and for realignment, for resurrection. And in your creative space, you're going to imagine, you're going to envision a gyroscope. Now, the gyroscope is going to sit on a string, on a very tight string. It's horizontal. The gyroscope, when spinning correctly, is going to sit very perfectly without a wobbling on the gyroscope. Now, wrapped sort of inside the gyroscope is another roll of string, you might say, that you're going to pull it very quickly, which is going to spin the gyroscope as you put it on the string. So the very bottom of the gyroscope, there's like a little piece that's like engrooved that sits perfectly on the string without collapsing once it is spun correctly at high speed. So you're going to do that now in your imagination. You're going to spin it. You're going to pull the string out. It's going to spin. And you're going to see if it wobbles or not. If it wobbles and falls off, you're going to put another gyroscope on the string and do the same procedure until you have a gyroscope that spins very fast and very sturdily on the string. That represents your Merkaba. That's your vehicle of travel through the quantum space. Now, normally your gyroscope is going to be silver in color, although it could be white. or a white gold. Even if you have to do many, many gyroscopes to get it to spin correctly, you go ahead and do that. And once your gyroscope is spinning correctly and not wobbling at all, you want to feel that vibration in your brain. You want to allow your body's brain to feel, to have an experience of a perfect gyroscope spinning in inner space without wobbling. And then when spun correctly, the gyroscope will produce like a hum that you want to be able to hear as well with your inner ears. And the gyroscope will also produce light filaments. It will express when divinely balanced. It will radiate filaments of light like an aura. That is your Merkaba. You are rebuilding your Merkaba for inner space travel, conscious travel into the higher dimensions in the quantum. All right, let that image fade away into the quantum. Now you're going to integrate the knowingness that you have realized from this class into your brain, into your body, as a download from your higher self. So your brain, your crown chakra has a storage area. The downloads will go into your storage area. It's like your filing system, neat and orderly. It will be filed there in your storage area until you need it. In a physical way, it will naturally drip down into your nervous system, your endocrine system through the pineal and pituitary. Now you're going to check in with your inner child. Invite your inner child up into the upper room. Invite your inner child to be with you in the upper room for a moment to deeply connect in a quantum way. Connect now with your guardian angels for a moment. And we're going to bring in the Arcturians and the Kumaras for a little celebration, for acknowledgement. They're going to give you a reflection of who you are. What you are and how you serve. And let's take a moment to give thanks and gratitude for all assistance given. The new earth, great central sun, prime creator, your I am presence, your counsels. And as you begin to come back to the room in your physical body, come back with the knowing that you are now doing life differently, that you are making all things anew, your mind, your body, your life, your healing practice, your retirement, everything. Your health, your emotional body, your relationships, your self-esteem. That you are beholding, making everything anew, present time. Now, as you come back to your body, you're going to wrap your light around the body. Beautiful blanket of light, a halo of light, a ring of light, a cocoon of light. Wrap it all the way around your body, from head to toe. 360 degrees around your body. Now, have your body breathe in that light that sustains life in the body, that gives life to the body. Breathe it in very deeply into the solar plexus. Breathe in the light, breathe out the light, breathe in, breathe out. I am here, I am now, I am. And today I affirm, I am free, I am free, I am free. So it is. I am word. In this declaration, word, I am word. So be it. Thank you all for attending. And until next time, many, many blessings to all of you. And thank you so much for your presence tonight.
Thank you, Kenji.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Kenji.
Thank you, Kenji. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night. Blessings.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kenji.
Thank you, Kenji. Thank you, Kenji. Amita here.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone,
Thank you.
for your love. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenji from Montana.
You're
Amita.
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Kenji.
Thank you from Boulder City, Nevada.
Grateful from
Blessings.
Florida.
Mexico. Thank you. It's a beautiful birthday present for tomorrow.
Nice.
Happy birthday.
Many
Gracias.
blessings.
Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Bye.
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 Bye.